Yes?
Bastards! We have a right to work! Hold up and stay frosty, everyone.
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down. We're here to fight for a cause. Stripes usually have problems with people. Good. We're fighting for a cause here. Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking. Maybe you should ask them. We have families to feed.
So do we, Scott.
Honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate interests. We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If union fucks don't want work, they ought to let in those who do.
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your leadership?
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No.
When a bunch of ungrateful
Beats me. They mumble nonsense about boardrooms and workers' rights, while we have the right to work!
There's something odd in the way he carries himself. His set of clothing looks vaguely mismatched. His shirt is far too small and an unpleasantly tight fit, while the overalls, held up by a belt, seem to fit a man with much more corporate. He ignores your question, choosing instead to turn to the emaciated workers, raising both fists in the air. The clothes are obviously. Silence is the answer. There's something off here, but he won't say it. You've been talking to him for quite a while now. Something is off with this guy. Ask him where he's from.
What's it to you?
No, don't think we've met before. I came to help out the people.
We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain, from Jamrock. Backgrounds in odd jobs, heavy lifting, cargo hauling, bouncer work. I know the drill. Worked at Territorial. Ring a bell? Uh-huh. It was a long time ago. We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates.
Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. Could try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean...
Yeah? That giant up there, on the bridge you talked to. Head measurer. Bad. Standing on a narrow bridge, he's got a strategic... I don't know how the Union has a trained killer up there. But that one's no joke, and my men are tired and hungry. They're workers. Like civilized folk, you mean? These native fucks don't...
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now. If you...
No! They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Then we charge.
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy... The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin with the driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar paraphernalia. The back end of the cabin has a small perch to sleep, large ashtrays. There are several... A book with ragged edges catches your notice. The front cover
Racist, nationalist paraphernalia. Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is. Drapes it all over his machine.
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island. A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, "I am Philip III, the Squanderer, the greatest of the Philippian kings of Revachol, son of Philip II. What did he do? High above you, the king stands triumphantly oblivious to your memory trouble." The small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on her radio. A photograph. The photo, an ambrotype. It's the warmth of a winter night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter. Some cigarettes? No response. Wherever this... Nothing. Her smile just keeps...
Wait. She's just a distracted old woman. Better to leave her alone. Why?
Looking for something? Oh man, that's great. God man. Thanks for that, but no, it's not mine.
The tear machine stands in the corner.
Oh, that's the tear machine. It's a machine for... You need a bag. Feel free to use it if you find a bag, though.
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles. The raincoats are transparent. A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicines. Their logo is the bloodless rose.
Just ask me if you need anything from St. Baptiste. We don't stock prescription meds, but we do have Nosafed, Duramine, Magnesium, and Hypnogamma. Okay, here. I hope St. Baptiste makes you feel better or something. Yeah, there's like an ampule somewhere.
A colorful display of cigarettes and alcohol. There, in that dark green glass. All in vain. The great flowing river.
Sure. If you want something, I can get it, but I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage...
Know this, you will never finish your alcohol quest if you don't buy beautiful alcohol.
I am a gander and a hunter.
A simple little cadence. He seems...
You sure are, my man. It's the jam, my man. It's a traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut tight. No explanation given. Workers on strike. Scabs agitating. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon days. Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes of mazout. Yeah, imagine. It's been a whole week already.
Behind the laugh, however.
So tell me, what do you need? Huh? Oh, the bosses, man. Yeah, it sure ain't good for me. Or you. I'd spare a coin or two for a city cop down on his luck. He ain't one of us drivers. I know that. All accounted for. Otherwise, I haven't really asked about that.
It's easy to see he's telling the truth. He's kept his nose out of the dark stuff. The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal fire.
Relax. He's merely joking.
Can't even get a few jokes past you, my man. I've got another haul of foul. They usually get shipped to Grodd in the Occident. Though we've been making this rockin' beauty. Sure is. Like a rash you can't get rid of. You interested in heavy-duty cargo machinery?
A motor lorry, also called a camion, on Caillou and neighboring islands. This one looks roughed up enough to be some sort of found rust bucket. Maybe the A6?
Good eye, my man. Yup, she's an old one, but reliable. Me and her spent a long time together.
There it is again. A little touch of sadness beneath his cool. He thinks he's spent too long in this lorry.
We're pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out the merchandise. Not unless they've illegalized sports equipment while I was on the road.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm. Ease into it.
You really are the law, aren't you? I get that being bluntly observant and inquisitive comes with the territory, but it's
Maybe the full-on, direct approach wasn't correct.
It's like, whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up, making demands, no way. Anything else? Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. Us lorry drivers, camionneurs, you still hang around here waiting for this mess to... Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days. I prefer the examined life now. Thinking, reflecting, observing.
What's better than chasing transient pleasures? The more transient, the better. When one's ended, you can get onto the next one.
Don't be a stranger.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the...
We can sit on benches after we've...
You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the time when Lieutenant Kitsuragi is...
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed. Try to find something pretty and cool here, then use it to win her back. Everything you pick out seems faded, chipped, and sad somehow. Most of them are just broken toys. Big men on big horses, clad in lamella armor and carrying flintlocks, the kind that would mow down
Franco-Nigerian knights. I used to be very serious about these guys.
a long, long time ago. The boomboxes on the shelf look well loved. One especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a big old handle on top. This is you. Gold and orange. Just make sure it works before you buy it.
If police work means playing tapes, sure. You can. Is the Harman Welsh W2. Made in Vespa. Designed in Seoul. Plays all reel-to-reel formats. 2mm, 8mm, Absolutely. I've tested each one myself with recordings of speech. Found sounds and music from a variety. It's not often that I see officers from the RCM in my pawn shop. What can I do for you?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the
I haven't had any problems myself, though some of my customers have complained about inconsistent law.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from. It keeps me entertained.
Entertained? He might be high. If he is, on what? Okay, a guarded man like him wouldn't tell you if you asked out loud.
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her.
The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another.
You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were undeserved, and I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long.
He's not telling you the whole story. It seems he's...
You weren't quite... You were very distraught. You said the gun was a threat to your life, and when I said that I don't normally buy firearms, you put the gun barrel in your mouth and 15 real.
The lieutenant looks from you to Roy, and then back to you. It's clear that this has got to be... There's pity there too, in case you didn't notice.
No apologies necessary, officer. She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit, truth be told.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the citizens' militia, and now...
Miraculously, his face does not reveal what's happening inside.
It's possible in these parts of town. We ought to find her and discourage her from taking justice into her own hands.
My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where she was coming from.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it right now. You'll just have to hope Everard wasn't lying, and the Union can track her down.
Maybe. Shady-looking guys came in here yesterday, looking like they'd just taken off their wild... They went their way. It was a trip, but you...
Maybe Claire really is tracking down your gun.
Of course. I doubt it, but I can try and answer any questions you may... I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery. Bad for business. I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of...
The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors.
Sure thing. Sure, man.
A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps.
Yes, officer.
The light pole has been carefully cut, and the wiring has been redone and attached to a standard indoor. This would make quite a statement in your living room.
It was brought to me to be all...
We are not here to investigate the theft of city property. You have to admit it's rather clever, what he...
700 real. A bargain, I dare say. Hey, I don't know where it came from, but it's not every day you get to buy and sell something so extraordinary.
There are clothes inside, cheap second-hand.
Don't be shy. These are premium class clothes.
Save the economy? That sounds off. You find your hands deep in tattered and faded.
Economical, but also trendy. Look first hand, buy second hand. Keep the economy moving.
Something cold grazes your hand. Synthetic and sleek.
Good choice, officer. Mega sporty. And it's only $4.50 for you, sir.
You see two lowly, defeated speakers. Thralls. Slaves, basic.
I can see you've a taste for luxury, officer. Can't keep your eye.
These once respectable speakers have been conquered.
No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneakers. The sneakers are the stuff. Good move, officer.
A pair of Faun Ultras.
Those sneakers, mister. Those sneakers are the latest Faun sneakers. Super air, super fine, super cool.
Only? That's madness. There's a pile of cheap sunglasses.
You like sunglasses, officer?
Abort. These are...
Damn, officer! You look like a mega secret spy. Very secret.
They're perfect for concealing your bloodshot and baggy...
No, you are definitely not buying those. No, I can't. We can't walk around with you looking like this.
These are all boring.
These are all first-rate sunglasses. Premium design, super material, very cool. UV resistant. These will definitely keep your eyes safe and cool while doing your dangerous...
No luck.
Oh, that visor is perfect for you, officer. It'll definitely keep the sun out.
I hope not.
You don't like it? Sure, Square Joe. No problem. Let's get you some real shades.
A couple of indicator lights are missing from this control panel. Loose wires dangle from the now. This panel usually closes the waterlock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal. But there's a You pull the lever all the way up. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. A cold gust of wind blowing in from the sea. Nothing happens. A cold gust of wind. A spring brings the lever back to its original position. You still need to close the waterlock to get across the canal. Some other way. Wasn't there a sign over there saying functionality will be restored on Wednesday morning?
Evening, officers.
A burly man hangs out by the waterlock, carving up a generous serving of salami.
I wasn't here to witness it, but those look like tire tracks on that sign.
The words, Daredevil Drop.
Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything around here, especially a waterlock. The rest of the coast is closed off till then. Sure thing. Want some too, officer?
Why not?
It's supposed to operate the waterlock, but as noted, it's all junk right now. Safety measure. Turns out the panel needs a special kit. It'll be restarted on Wednesday. Great! Just drop in on Wednesday if you want to see the waterlock at work. They say the canal crew will be here at 7.
The coast part of the map is inaccessible until the 3rd day.
Well, there's the fishing village, an abandoned fish market. Yeah, not really much else. Just...
This coin-operated viewer is facing...
Probably some kit.
The metal feels cold and wet under your palm. A thick layer of graffito covers the lenses. You spell out the word, Onuk, written on the other side. Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies a coast. You know this to be the star of Periconesus, or the Cairo. The church looks old and weather-worn. There are no... Around the large wooden building, you see chunks of sea ice. Advanced race theory. Whoa. What? A bridge with loose nails and rot... A sturdy metal door guards the south.
Yeah, you better keep walking. Look at me when I'm talking to you.
striking woman leans against the cabin top of her...
Good evening, officers. I'm Joyce. Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM. Nothing, honestly. I've said it to every drunk in town, and you're the first one who's responded.
Relax. She meant it in jest.
I'm glad to see you here. I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter?
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode.
There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief, even.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation.
It's hard to get a read on her precise disposition.
Why, yes I am. Officer, I assure you I'm a highly qualified pleasure craft operator.
The crowns of her teeth are porcelain, white as the boat's hull. Her nonchalance might be related.
Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else? Yes, we are. We are on Le Caillou. I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Kenema motor carriage up.
Actually, that motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle. It's for crossing long distances in the greater Revachol industrial hub.
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol, between the...
You need to make this lady admit she's only riding around on... Why, what? Stop thinking. Take her down. You're not? Okay then. Just keep on admiring the boat then. Unburdened by envy.
The boat? No. It...
The word it.
Okay. How about Cordelechi 19? Why? Because it was manufactured in Revachol East by a company called Cordelechi, and its hull is 19 paces long. Why Dolores? Well, it means nothing to me. I think I'll stick with the factory name, but thank you for the suggestion. Okay. Because it was manufactured in Revachol East by a company called Cordelechi. What? I think I'll stick with the factory name, but thank you. It's a pleasure craft, a 19-pacer. It also happens to be rated for Category 1 racing. My sloop, I like it a lot. It's the eel's hips, babe.
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the model.
I really do, the lieutenant thinks. Is she thrown off?
Good. Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Of course, ma'am. We should have And this is my colleague from Precinct 41, Detective Dubois. I'm afraid Harry doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope...
Oh, and what happened to yours, Detective?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman does...
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode? I can't hear you, darling. Speak up, please. Oh, dear. Some kind of... I do believe...
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional.
Of course, I sympathize. But I'm afraid I simply...
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some... She's a negotiator. Just float a...
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something very...
You're in, but expect her to drive a hub.
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open...
They're profiting from this trade.
The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might... Or you can recover your badge. Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost...
Detective, a word in private.
Guillaume Lemillion. Bad news. Guillaume Lemillion did not become a cop. In '38, he went on a tour to the Sinyao province in Safre, where he died of autoerotic asphyxiation. His body was found hanging from a decorative dragon tree in his junior suite amid drug paraphernalia, unwholesome objects, and the Sylvia Trainer single, Wonderland, skipping in the background. And yes, you can take this as a metaphor for Revachol in the 30s, and also as a warning.
Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer. This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser.
He doesn't let it show, but there is a limit to how much the consequences of your unprofessional behavior can
Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large, and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters.
The situation might have changed drastically by the time you locate it.
You could request a new one from the station, but that would literally take months.
A sturdy metal door. The door rattles against your knuckles. The door rattles again, but this time you...
Stop banging on the door! I'm not letting any more strangers in. The police? No. I already told you. I won't be responsible for any more strangers getting into the building. Go check the backyard door. Maybe someone there will.
Backyard door? There must be another...
Madame, I assure you, we are real police officers.
There is no reply. The door rattles again, but this time...
Stop banging on the door! I'm not letting any more strangers inside. Doesn't matter who I am. The police? Everyone knows the police. No. I already told you. Go check the backyard door.
Backyard door? There must be an...
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time of year. You should take care of that, then. Let's talk to him anyway. An officer of the RCM shouldn't be sleeping in the street.
Though he finds this situation frustrating, he is doing his best to not make you...
Yes?
You see a heavy steel door. You immediately feel drawn. The door does not budge.
You do? It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Why do you care where it leads? Yes, I suppose Garth is the person to ask about this. The cafeteria manager.
The cobalt blue surface feels rough to touch. It leads to a side building, adjacent to this one. The old building next to this, half ruined.
Can I help you? Yes, have you got it? A lot. For the room and broken window, 100 real. You must be joking, right? You come here, trash everything, and now you try to pay with a novelty check? This isn't a game show. I'm not going to accept it. You owe me cold, hard money. I want...
You can cash it in at the local frit near the harbor gates, though it might not be enough to cover it.
Does that arrangement include you paying me what we already agreed you owe me? As a police officer, you must understand that I cannot take you at your word. Evidence being money. You can't stay here without money. Not until you bring me the money.
Okay. I might have something in my motor carriage we can use when you're done here.
I really didn't want to resort to this.
Oh, Lieutenant, we're done here. Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for. How strange. I certainly didn't put them there. Sylvie had the keys before I got here, and I can vouch for her. I can vouch for all my staff. None of us would tamper with the crime. The trash collection service, CS...
Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent. Thank you anyway.
Yes? Do I have a shaker in my hand? Is this...
He sounds irritated. And it's not a shaker. It's nothing. He's holding nothing.
Am I wearing a little bow tie? Am I wearing a bow tie and doing this? Am I smiling? Do you see me smiling and shaking my little shaker? That's right, I'm the cafeteria manager.
Play it calm. This man needs to understand you need a drink to help the community deal with police stuff.
Oh, well, in that case, let me pour you a nice, big, refreshing marinella. Do you want that out of a glass or a pineapple? Don't be an imbecile. I'm not going to serve you a marinella. I have work to do and broken things to fix. If that was all, I'd like to return to it. Another thing. Great. I love those. Yes, not the whole damn union, thank God. Just the... They come here in the evenings. I don't. I'm simply providing a service, or really facilitating the offering of services to paying customers.
We should find out who this Lord faction is, occupying the booth. Loudness means talkative. We don't. We have to wait.
You glance at the clock on the wall behind the manager. Huh.
Good question.
They're probably getting drunk or protesting something somewhere, or laying low after the...
Whatever he may feel about you, he can't miss the opportunity to throw you a look of what he assumes is shared understanding.
Yeah, the Union guys think they're untouchable. They probably fucking killed that guy or something, and now think they can hide out till it all blows over, and it's fair weather again in Martinez.
I have a feeling we'll make their acquaintance sooner or later.
Oh yes, that door, sure. There's nothing mysterious about it. It's just a... No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either. It's not like I've been wondering. Or some boring storage space with a bunch of old junk and dust.
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely not.
Fine, okay, a little. But my job doesn't leave me time for wondering about one locked door. So I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over, though. After the animals. Yes?
Yes?
The door is closed. Still nothing. The lieutenant gives you a quick... He doesn't like where this is going. This door can only be opened with a key or from the inside. You should pick that fat, juicy cigarette butt from the... Who knows what you are? A monster, a murderer, the gnome of Jeroma? You feel like a smoker. How very astute of you. This renders it ineffectual.
The idea...
Like a cat rubbing itself against its owner's calves. A cat that wants you to smoke. Good. They'll make you stronger and better. Plus, smoking then gives massive bonuses.